first reporter of Group 18, and our topic is all about the moral challenges of globalization. So, in our topic, we will discuss also what globalization, pluralism, and fundamental are with my group mate Ventura and Aguru. So, laban man sa aton subong is known na about sa globalization. So, globalization here is the simple scenario now, how fast intercontinental transactions occur today. So when your OFW relative sends money here in the Philippines, how long does it take? Second, so when you message your OFW relative that the money has been received, how long does it take? Second, so from now subong na mga generation is nagadali na gid ang life way kag ang ginawi ta subong generation. So like dabi sa communication, um nagchat ka lang or nag-message or nag-call kasi mo relative nga ara sa ibang bansa nga you need money or gusto mo mapadalan ka sang kwarta subong. So pagtawag mo lang dito pagkamanangan ara mo money through online transaction like the GCash. GCash subong ang naga patok sa aton nga mga millennials. So nang dali mo lang siya ma-message kag dali lang gid mag-abot sa imo ang kwarta subong kay tungod sa aton nga technology nga naimbento. So globalization is the opening of local and nationalistic perspectives to a broader outlook of an interconnected and interdependent world with free transfer of capital, goods, and services across national frontiers. So, tungod sa globalization is mas naging free ang pagbaylo-baylo sa mga needs ng isa kag isa like dapat isang capital, goods kag sang services here in our country kag pagad sa ibang country. So globalization has significantly reduced the distance barrier compressing space and time. So tungod naman sa globalization may mas na-reduce pagit ang distance kag ang barrier sa isa kag isa like dabi ng ikaw ari ka diri tapos mo family ato sa malayo so no need na magadto didto para lang mag-talk sa isa kag isa. So there is a technology na lang ang gamiton para nga magkaroon kang communication sa isa kag isa. So globalization has linked worldwide relationship. Events happening millions of miles away can affect local events. For example, may balita dito sa ibang bansa. Tapos, ari ka diya sa Pilipinas. So, nabalaan mo na dito tungod sa balita. Kag tungod sa technology nga na imbento subong. So, tungod sa technology nga ina is nabalaan mo na dito ang mga nagkatabo sa ibang bansa kay tungod nakita mo ini siya sa balita. So let's go here in the problem of moral challenges of globalization. So, first, we have the rise of radical inequality. So pagtaas sa mga hindi equals sa subong nga kalibutan. So for the rise of radical inequality. So as the world become more technologically advanced, the gap between the rich and the poor is becoming even more pronounced. So mas nakikitaan na ang tungod sa technology, mas naging advanced na ang mga manggaranon kaysa sa mga imol. So, the global financial scenario is that wealth is concentrated in the hands of the few, while it leaves a majority in poverty. So, ang global financial is mas naga uh, ang So the global financial scenario is that wealth is concentrated in the hands of the few while it leaves the majority in poverty. So ang global financial, ang mga kayamanan is nakakonsentrate lamang sa iban. Samantala, majority lamang ang ara sa mga mahihirap. So simply put, some people benefit at the expense of others. So globalization is used by advanced capitalist countries to perpetuate their political and economic leaderships or dominance. So, may ara naman nga na use nila globalization by advance para nga makapitala nila ilang mga country para nga ipadayon nila ang ila pagiging politician kag economic leadership or dominance. So, deontological perspective is an approach to ethics that looks at the rightness and the wrongness of the action. So, ang perspective naman sa deontological is amo ni lamang siya ang nagalantaw sa action, if it's rightness or wrong. So, on the other hand, for consequentialism, an action is right or wrong based on the results of the action. So, from the consequentialist perspective, the ethical argument against globalization is that it fails to maximize happiness for the greatest number again of all. So, number two is the problem of managing global environment to prevent global ecological collapse. So, this number two problem, amo ni siya ang paano ma-manage ang global environment para ma-prevent nato ng global ecological. So, today's world is confronted by a host of environmental problems that carry with the potential planetary consequences. So, may naman siyang problem about sa aton environmental or sa aton kapaligiran. So, the ozone layer is rapidly depleting. So, naganipis ang aton ozone layer tungod sa aso nga na-cause ang mga salakyan. So, global warming has created a chain of extreme change in weather condition. So, sa ato naman panahon nga naga-change ang weather. Like subong grabe ang init because nga manipis na ang aton ozone layer, is hindi na pa-protect, hindi na kaya sa aton nga environment. So, muna nga grabe ang init subong tungod nga manipis ng aton ozone layer. So, the ecosystem worldwide is experiencing rapid reduction in the number of species. So, even though industrial activity is mostly confined in the West and more recently to some part of Asia, the entire world is suffering from the effects of climate change. So, sa iban nga mga bansa is na entire na nila ang pag-suffer sa effects ng climate change. Grabe kaya ang pagbaylo-baylo dito sa climate change. So, that's why the advanced capitalist countries enjoy the benefits of industrialization. So, the rest of the world is forced to share in the negative consequences resulting from industrial activity. So, exacerbating the global environmental problem is explosion human population growth that is threatening to exceed the Earth capacity to support. So, subong is mas damot ang mga population. So, sa isa ka adlaw nga daan, 1,000 or kitsa gani milyon ang hindi maging hindi maging milyon, I mean, thousands lang ba ang ginabata sa isa ka adlaw sa bilog nga kalibutan or 100,000. So, number 3 is the intrusion of International Economic Organization on indebted nation. So, ni naman ang pagsulod sa mga international organization sa mga bansa na may mga utang. So, international financial institution or corporation that acts as a mediator to bring about an agreement. So, muna sila ang mga institution nga nagasulod sa ibang bansa nga maghatag or magdala sang agreement about sa international financial. So these types of institution typically deal with lending money to countries so that this country could implement its developmental plans and project. So ni naman siya ang types ng institution nga naga-deal with sang lending money. So ang muna nga country is maga-implement sang developmental plans kag project. So the largest international financial institutions are the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. So, ang mga largest international financial institution, amo na sila ang World Bank and International Monetary Fund. So, hindi naman kita siguro, familiar naman to siguro sa World Bank kag sa International Monetary Fund, nga amo na sila ang mga international financial nga pwede naton utangan sang aton nga bansa. So, these institutions were established in 1944 United Nations Monetary and Financial Conference participated by a World War III allied nations held in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, USA, and resulted in what is called the Bretton Woods Agreement, wherein the US dollar was established as the global currency. So, this institution is na established in isa sang 1944. In United Nations Monetary and Financial Conference participated. Nation Monetary and Financial Conference. So, gi-participate in isa sang World War II. So,
International financial institutions are seen to have become so powerful it can possibly impose economic policies on societies, like states, country, nation, government, and different parts of the globe.